13 years later, the nation spent the day reflecting and honoring the lives of the 3,000 men, women, and children who died on September 11, 2001. On that day, 40 passengers and crew aboard United Flight 93 made the ultimate sacrifice when they prevented hijackers from attacking the U.S. Capitol. Maria Miller was in Somerset County for the emotional ceremony this morning and talked with some of the families of the victims. Maria?
Well, Jen, it seemed to be a much smaller crowd this year, a little more of a toned down ceremony. But as you said, the emotion is still so pure and so strong. Hearing family members read the names of the loved ones they lost is still just as powerful 13 years later.
My sister, Colleen Fraser.
Reading of Georgine Rose Corrigan.
From whatever nation they may have come or whatever state they may have come, they are sons and daughters of Pennsylvania now.
Governor Tom Corbett Thursday morning addressing visitors, friends, and families of those on board United Airlines Flight 93, 13 years after it crashed in this Shanksville field.
The grounds and the skies surrounding Flight 93 is where they rose up against oppressors.
It was a much smaller crowd that gathered this year, but the emotions were still just as strong. His friends and family of the 40 passengers and crew members made their way out to the hallowed ground, as they do every year, to visit the final resting place of their loved ones.
It's somber. You know, over the last 13 years, the time passes, people forget. But as this date approaches, I think everybody in our whole country remembers.
Captain Denny Flanagan has been a pilot for more than 4 decades. He and about 50 fellow pilots, crew members, and flight attendants from United Airlines made their way to Somerset County Thursday to remember the lives lost.
Thank you for everybody that came here today and all those people that keep them in their hearts.
We'll never forget the bravery, the honor, and the value that was performed and exhibited by their loved ones. While they are lost in body, they are, without a doubt, shared in spirit of that heroism and devotion to our country.
That's a sentiment I think is felt by all Americans, especially on this and every anniversary. We're going to have much more coverage throughout the newscast on this morning's ceremony, as well as the Congressional Gold Medal that was presented to the families this morning. But for now, live in Somerset County, Maria Miller, 6 News.
Millions across the country and around the world paused today to reflect on the terror attacks of September 11th and to honor the nearly 3,000 who died. NBC's Jay Gray is in Lower Manhattan, where the Day of Remembrance continues at Ground Zero.
Ground Zero, the Pentagon, and this field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Hallowed ground where so many gathered again today to reflect on what happened on that horrific day.
Michael L. Collins.
And to honor the nearly 3,000 lost 13 years ago.
Here once more we pray for the souls of those we remember, for you, their families who love them forever, and for a nation that has been inspired by your example, your determination to carry on, your resolve to live lives worthy of their memories.
Those memories and the emotions have yet to fade, and they likely never really will. Still, Ground Zero continues to change, evolve. The 9/11 Museum and One World Trade have replaced the twin towers that once stood here.
It's beautiful. It's huge.
Reaching to the sky, a monument to this city's and our nation's unwavering spirit and resolve.
That night, I said to the people of New York, as a result of this attack, I want you to be stronger. I want you to build on it. And they exceeded my expectations.
But as the rebuilding and recovery continues,
Michael J. Clark.
The pain and heartache lingers as well.
Dorothy Ama Derubo.
The names of the fallen, reaffirming a promise made 13 years ago today.
Salvatore Gitto.
That they will never be forgotten. Jay Gray, NBC News, New York.
Traffic moved slower today in Washington, D.C. as thousands of motorcyclists took part in the annual 2 million Bikers to D.C. ride. The ride and rally honor the victims, survivors, and first responders of the September 11th attacks, as well as members of the armed forces. Riders gathered in 4 D.C. suburbs this morning before heading into the district. The ride was followed by an honor rally at the National Mall.